Look at that man, Hazardous, looking out the window. Stuck in stress and scared for his country. Hey everybody, it's me, Super Paul Games. War has broken out between two of our neighbors. That's a crisis, but we have our own crisis of epidemic proportions. A terrible disease strain, M2H1, which is ravaging our country. So we bought a university to have someone study it there. And we got the cantankerous genius Dr. House from America, and he's there studying the disease. The World Health Organization, the UN, is helping us because they like us enough, and we've had to close our border for 5 turns to make sure new people with the disease do not bring it into the country as we try and eradicate it from within. The problem with that is it's destroyed our economy. We're not exporting things. It's terrible for the economy right now. So we're deficit spending. We are losing $21 million per turn. Luckily, we found a cache of some money of the old king, so we're okay for a little bit, but it depends, because, each week something bad comes up. I don't know if it's week or month or whatever the time period is. And that's problematic. Let's see our support. It's still pretty early in the epidemic crisis, so we probably still have some popular support. You can see overall we have a 94% if you look at the bottom of the screen. Still 100% support with patriots. 96% with capitalists, 79% with fundamentalists, 100% with liberals, and if we run over to Parliament in a second, you can see down here, it's 100 plus 10 per turn, but we're going to run it and look at it. We have a huge amount of support within Parliament and even our own cabinet. The communications minister, he super likes us. So now it's just hoping that each time I hit the turn button, something really bad doesn't happen. Like, we need nothing bad to happen, or big bad to happen that costs money, until we can get the economy back on track after, I believe, 4 more turns. A small asteroid will impact Benghazi in 18 hours. We cannot assess exactly where it'll land, but the shockwave is likely to cause some injuries. Too bad we don't have a space team, because then we could send a misfit team of deep core drillers into space to deflect the asteroid safely into uninhabited territory. That sounds like a horrible movie. But instead we have to have our scientists disciplined for not discovering the asteroid sooner, which is actually pretty good. Oh, what's up, Tariq?
Excellency, do you have a moment?
Oh, I hate you.
Yes, what is it?
As M2H1 spreads, riots and looting are rampant in Khamai, Kwafal, and Machimara. Rationing has been implemented for what little goods remain. A strong military presence will be needed to prevent the complete collapse of the transitional government.
What, we have to have a bigger military? We already have riot police. Our riot police have prevented damage there. The most we could do is purchase one more, maybe, group of infantry units. That or we pull everybody in from the borders. We have really good relations with all our neighbors. So we're going to bring all the troops in from the borders. We're going to bring them inland to defend and try and bring peace to the rioting region. That's going to take at least a turn. Luckily, we have riot police. Wyatt police? They're all named Wyatt Earp. The fuck are you doing in my room, Tariq? I swear, everything you'd bring me is bad news. I just wanted a bacon double cheeseburger. Could you bring me that? No. Bring me a bacon double cheeseburger of sadness and disease. What was I looking at? I was too busy yelling at Tariq, I forgot. Oh, riot police. You received no treasury losses during a riot. I am so glad we got riot police earlier. Let's take a look at the newspaper. Meteor blast strikes Basenji. Glorious leader blames Clandestine bug menace. I don't even know. Why is this not the #1 story? Giant killer zombie disease spreading? Rioting? Is Basenji the greatest of countries? Newspaper legally obliged to report yes, because it's the truth. I love the Bank of Basenji. We don't let international sanctions in the way of your day-to-day needs. We're like, fuck sanctions. You can do business with us. We're like Switzerland. Man, our patriots are down to 5% of the population. I'm amazed by that. An American drone appears to have crashed in your sovereign territory and has been recovered by your military. We condemn the United States for acts of espionage. Attempt to reverse engineer the drone, which makes it cheaper to buy drones. I would do that, but I think right now, because of how closely aligned the United States are and the United Nations, the last thing we want to do is piss them off. So we're just going to privately give the U.S. back their drone, and hopefully they'll be a little embarrassed. Be like, hey, Obama, I got something of yours. He's like, what? Spy drone. He's like, oh, let me have that. Yeah. Yep, America likes this because we helped them save face. Ooh, I unlocked Roger and me.
The Honorable Basenji people, my fellow countrymen and women, my beloved citizens, I address you today as we are ushering in a new era in the history of our homeland. I wish to address you first, as you are the owners of this blessed land, its defenders, the builders of its prosperity, and the architects of its future.
It's an era of epidemic collapse, really, but, we're going to talk about well-being. We should be able to brag. I don't know, we probably can't. We should be able to brag about the fact that we brought a national unemployment insurance.
Eradicating poverty and ensuring that prosperity and well-being are sustainable are two of the most pressing challenges the world faces today.
This has got to be important to the people. Come on. People are starving out there, or there's rationing. So we're going to talk about more healthcare coverage, because that's pretty important during a freaking epidemic.
Basenji will undertake a major reform of its national healthcare system to ensure full coverage exists for all of our citizens.
Come on, that should be really popular. That should be more popular. Think about it. Your family's all dying. Oh man, none of these are good. I don't care about greenhouse gas emissions right now. I don't care about holy foods. New technologies for asserting our sovereignty. We're not trying to be military.
Second, the government will deregulate our financial institutions in order to increase their competitiveness in the global market.
I don't know if we're actually going to do that, but we're at least going to promise it. That's something, right? Come on, we need an economy to get better desperately.
Finally, it is with a full heart that I say to you all,
it might not matter what we say. It might be people are just mad and frustrated because people are dying because of the disease.
I look to the future with tranquility. The People's Republic of Basenji represents superior military, economic, and above all, moral power.
They're going to be like, we've heard this before. We did implement some really good things, but I guess when you watch Grandma hack up a lung and die next to you, you're not going to be really enthused about some of these other things. It's tough to give a speech in that environment. Sorry I didn't impress you, nation. I tried. Is it 1 or 2 more turns? I think it's 2 more turns we have to have the borders closed. Crime rate is very high. There's not much we can do about it right now. I mean, if we look at our policies, we are already paying for model law enforcement. The problem is, oh man, our support's dropped dramatically. Well, that's what happens when everybody starts dying of disease. We're honestly doing everything we can to stop it right now. Your Minister of Health has suggested that it may be prudent to enforce martial law to limit the further spread of M2H1 and prevent looting. The army would be brought into cities to identify and isolate the symptomatic and maintain order. While this may slow down the spread of the disease, it will be highly unpopular and will create panic amongst the population. We're not going to. We're close to a cure. I have faith in the people. The military doesn't like that decision, but I have faith. We're going to find a cure. I believe in Dr. House. More Basenji citizens identified as nationalists. Come on, tell me this is turn number 5. A foreign hacker has obtained classified documents detailing the political prisoners we hold in secret isolation. That's not good. And is threatening to release this information if we do not provide him with $50 million. God, that is not going to be good. We don't have the money for that. Fine, release it. The hacker has informed the press about our secret political prison. We have tried our best to suppress the articles in state-owned press, but unfortunately human rights groups and Western media are devoting a lot of attention to this. Liberals are not going to like that. Neither does the UN. UN, please stay over 50%.
Excellency, do you have a moment?
Yes, what is it?
The doctor from America appears to have developed an effective vaccine against M2H1. It will take time to synthesize and distribute, but for now it appears the immediate crisis is over.
The effects of this disaster will linger for decades. Now we must begin to plan the road to recovery.
Our healthcare costs will remain high for a while, and our economy will take time to recover. But we can reopen our borders again and renegotiate trade agreements.
I am relieved the worst is behind us.
As am I, Your Excellency.
Tariq, you are the man! Finally you brought me some good news! Thank God! Achievement unlocked. We have, beaten the disease. Thank fucking God! Let's open up these borders. We're gonna have border control. We could have totally open borders, which would help the economy, but more likely terrorists would come in. Alright, and we need to make some phone calls and sell some goods and change that from negative 32 million a turn to positive. Let's talk to our friend... Oh, who the fuck is fighting a war? So Babelistan is in Zarbal. So we better just focus on Arksistan because they're friends with everybody. Because if we trade with one of the two warring sides, the other side will not like us.
Thank you for taking my call.
What's up, goat man? You want to do some goats, don't you? Goat butt sacks. How about you buy some goats?
Are you interested in negotiating a trade agreement where we sell you Basenji goats?
Taking into account our positive relationship, these are the terms we are prepared to agree to.
We will take that. Almost 20 million a turn. That's going to be his new wife, Godorella. You want to buy some electronics? Electronics have gone up dramatically in price, thank God.
Are you interested in negotiating a trade agreement where we sell you Basenji electronics?
Taking into account our positive relationship, these are the terms we are prepared to agree to.
101% of market value. He really loves me and our electronics. I believe that'll be a plus of 38 million per turn.
Apologies, but I must go. Let us speak again later.
Goodbye.
Which should mean we will be out of the red and into the black when it comes to how much we make in a month. It's still not going to be a lot in the positive because, like they said, it's going to take a while for our economy to totally revive. Let's take a look. Patriots like us. Understandably, our support dropped during the disease thing. Same with the capitalists. Fundamentalists and liberals. Why are the fundamentalists negative too? Oh, it's because we have secular education. They don't like that. I'm sorry, dudes. Though our parliament loves us, and our ministers do, especially Nidal and Aisha. And there's our brother, still wanting to have our seat of power, but we've been so successful he's had no real shot at it yet. Gun ownership is highly restricted in Basenji. A local organization is petitioning the government to relax those measures. I can say no. Armed citizens may find themselves opposed to our regime. Or say yes, there's significant money to be made legalizing them. Oh, man. If we were in a better situation, I would say yes in a heartbeat. But we've just come out of a civil war. We're going to say no. The liberals would like that. The patriots... Oh, I thought the patriots won it, but that's alright. Crime rate is very high yet. Alright, let's go to policies. What can we do about that? We can turn into a police state. But no, liberals won't like that. That's not a good idea at all. Man, right now, people are not happy with us. I mean, our overalls are good, but it's trailing and everything. I don't like that. I guess it's going to take a while for the economy to recover and for people's attitudes to recover after that terrible, terrible thing. How's the war going between those two nations? But Babelistan and Zarbal are still fighting. Man, why does our brother have to be our foreign minister? It's my fault I put him in there. We can't attempt to broker peace. I would have loved to have brokered some peace in the Middle East. A young famous Basenji musician has released a music video containing lyrics that are deeply offensive to our fundamentalist population, probably making fun of them blowing up goats on ATVs. Parodying revered prophets. I'm not gonna imprison him for obscenities. I'm not gonna do nothing. The kid's free. If he wants to make creepy videos or funny ones, fine. Whatever. I would feel wrong imprisoning some kid for freedom of speech. More Basenji citizens are increasingly identifying themselves as nationalists. What's in the news? Should be good things. Come on, we took care of the epidemic. We're doing badass. But here, due to a Russia lyrics outrage. Apparently, he works at somewhere with a lot of pallets. He's working at a lumberyard. Nationalism is an increasing part of the Basenji culture. Capitalists still the biggest group. Liberals have grown. Patriots have grown a lot since the bad things happened. Let's take a look at policies. So far, most of them like us. The fundamentalists are dropping a little bit. I don't know what we can do to please them at this point. We could get rid of gambling, but yeah, I don't want to make the capitalists mad. They're the most important to us. Are there any other laws we could change? We could have a mandatory prayer week, but that's a bad idea because the capitalists like us less. We could get rid of death penalty. But then the patriots really don't like that. People don't really care about legal protection, apparently. Or homelessness. As long as there's the bare minimum of that. Spend all this money on disaster relief. Maybe we could stop spending money on that? There should be a ton of money in the disaster relief fund by now. Because we've had it like every turn. Maybe we should have that just in case. What if we outlaw gambling? No, because then capitalists just don't like that. God, it's hard to make these people happy. We could increase minimum wage. Capitalists don't like that. What about infrastructure purchases? What can we purchase infrastructure-wise? Education grants would make them happier. Ooh, a wildlife refuge would make patriots and liberals more happy. Maybe we'll start saving towards that. Are those guys going down in popularity? I don't think... Yeah, they are. Okay, so capitalists we know we're good with. Fundamentalists we don't have a solution for. I guess part of the problem, too, is that crime is high. But the liberals don't like it if we have a police state. We're just going to stay with a model law enforcement and see if crime naturally drops down. Well, the other thing we could do to lower crime would be to... We're going to have homeless shelters now. Our government's going to provide suitable homeless shelters for the majority of the population. Maybe we should have done that during the crisis. So if you lost your job because of the economic downturn, because of the health crisis, you have somewhere to stay now. One of your sweatshops is leaching toxic chemicals into a river used by nearby farmers. Well, we can have it shut down while the river's cleaned up, or we can ignore the farmers. We're going to ignore the farmers. Yeah, the liberals and patriots don't like that. Don't worry, we've got a plan to get to you guys too. Let's see how crime is doing. Man, crime is still high. Anarchy. The things that light up are the things that are affected by that. We're going to move homeless shelters up to compassion facilities temporarily. We're going to move into a police state. We need to get this under control. The crime is just out of control in this country. It's hurting everything. A popular cleric is blaming our high divorce rates on the government's reluctance to fully embrace the literal values set in the old way. I'm not marrying a goat. Huh. We're not going to imprison him for that. We don't want to make the fundamentalists mad. I'm not going to pay him to leave. I could give him $30 million to leave. So I can either ignore him or implement policies to make divorce unattractive. That'll make the liberals mad. But I think the fundamentalists are the smallest group, so we're just going to say, We're gonna ignore them. It's gonna make the fundamentalists mad. I know, but crime rate is very high. I know it is. We're implementing policies right now to try and lower that crime rate. We've got a police state going. We're offering, homeless cooperatives. Our government will build new homes for the homeless, subsidized by volunteer workers, undertaken by tenants. That and apparently capable prosecution. That I should have done too. We're going to have an easier time going through the courts to get people put in jail who deserve to be. In fact, you know what we might do temporarily? We might even raise that higher. How much can we afford? Efficient courts? Model courts. Legal cases are swift, efficient, and terrifying. Prosecutors build reputations on fighting corruption. We need to get this crime under control. It's outrageous in this nation. El Hadin, what of the family? Glorious leader ignores pleas for a return to traditional values. Look, I allow you to blow up goats with your hand grenades. It's good enough, fundamentalists. You're only 11% of the population anyway. I don't know what you're whining about. The United Nations Human Rights Council has drafted a highly critical report on the lack of human rights in Basenji. I could criticize the report, or we could make immediate human rights reforms. We're going to make immediate human rights reforms because the World Health Organization was really important to helping us fight that epidemic. You know, we remember. Fundamentalists don't like it. Liberals do like it. Good. The liberals are a bigger group. It sucks that we are losing support with fundamentalists. Has our crime gone down? Tell me it has. No, it's still incredibly freaking high. Come on, dude. We need to get that crime under control. Well, everybody, I'll see you all next time. While we still continue to try and get the crime rate, which is ridiculously out of control, under control. I think there are 7 turns left, but things could go really bad. Our finances have gotten to be really bad. We only have 34 million in the bank. We're barely bringing in money. Maybe we'll have to change the way we're spending money next time. I don't know. Either way, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.